All right, so let's look at how you can use Excel to calculate the energy use of a light bulb. So we have a little problem here. Let's look at the first. We'll address the first set of questions. How much energy is used by a 100-watt lamp that is run for 10 hours a day? And how much would this use in a month or a year? Okay, so what we need to do is create a few columns here. So let's start. The first thing we'll have power use. And remember, we always want to put the units in the column itself. Now, you can see this column is not quite wide enough to accommodate these terms. So you can do one of two things. You can either grab it up the top, you can see up here, and I can actually drag this across and expand the size of the column. We'll leave it like that. So my power use is 100 watts, okay? And that's why we put the unit up here in parentheses, because anything we put in this column is going to be watts, which is very useful if we want to calculate multiple lights. Okay, so what else do we know? We know 10 hours per day. So let's put hours per day here, and we'll start with 10. Okay, so what I want to figure out is how much energy is that. So we can type a column, that's energy use, and remember we want to put the quantity, so it's watt hours. So you can either go back up and expand this. Another thing you can do, if you click on the column and you click the wrap text, it's going to basically push down, expand that row until you can fit all of the words in your column heading. Okay, so now if you remember our basic energy calculation, remember energy is power times time. Okay, so if we take that into consideration, the energy here in watt hours, in this case we have watts times hours, or hours per day, is going to give us watt hours per day. So let's be accurate here. Watt hours per day. Okay. So my energy use in watt hours per day is simply going to be this number times this number. And there's a couple ways to do it. I think the easiest way is to go into the cell and type equals. And that way Excel knows you're entering a function. And you can click on this and then type in the asterisk, which is just multiply. If I was adding it, I would just type in plus. If I was subtracting it, I'd type in minus. If I was dividing it, I'd do the forward slash. So in this case, I'm doing times this. So I've physically clicked on these with the mouse, and then you can just hit enter, and there you go. So that's watt hours per day. And if you would do this by hand, you would see 100 times 10 is 1,000. So that would be your energy use in watt hours per day. And if you want to format this and add a comma, you can actually go up here, and here's a little shortcut, and click comma. And you can see it automatically adds a decimal place with 2 decimals. You can reduce that by, there's a little button up here that says shrink, decrease decimal. Click it twice. Now we're good. Okay, so that's how you calculate energy use of any electronic appliance for any amount of time. And in the next video, I'll show you how to convert this to figure out how much energy in months and years, and then a cost.